I do not own the rights to this music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to hear sing this. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord. Oh, y'all know this song. Come on. I will trust in the Lord till I die. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord. Said I will trust in the Lord till I die. One more thing, yeah. I'm gonna treat everybody right. That get hard sometimes. I'm gonna treat everybody right.
Hello, and welcome to Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron. Sunday School lesson for Sunday, August 1st, 2021. Our material for the Sunday School Summary is based upon the International Sunday School Lesson Series as published by the Sunday School Publishing Board. We are discussing faith and salvation as the title of the summer lesson series, and it's categorized into 3 units or groups of lessons. In Unit 1, we talked about Jesus teaches about faith, and in Unit 2, we're talking about faith and salvation. And in Unit 3, we'll talk about faith gives us hope. Now, the Faith and Salvation series consists of 4 lessons and explores Paul's understanding of salvation through faith. Paul teaches that God's righteousness is revealed in those who live by faith. The title of our 4th and final lesson in the Unit 2 Summer Lesson series is titled Seeking Confidence from Romans 10 and 13. Seeking confidence or trust or something that you can rely on. You're confident of it. And the key verse from Romans 10, chapter 10, verse 13 reads, Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Now the title, Seeking Confidence, the background to today's lesson is Paul's letter to the Romans concerning righteousness based upon faith and the responsibility on the believers. Now, Paul opens this chapter with his heart's desire and prayer to God for the Israelites that they might be saved. For he says that I can testify about them that they are zealous for God, but their zeal is not based on knowledge or understanding of who God is and what God does for us. Which brings us to today's lesson on confidence in the faith of Jesus Christ. There are 3 summary lesson points for today. The word from Romans chapter 10, verse 5 through 8. Your word, Romans chapter 10, verse 9 through 13, and Christ's word from Romans chapter 10, verses 14 through 17. The passages for the lesson today revolve around the key words faith, proclaim, righteous, word, and confidence. Now, we've been talking about faith, and we said that is the complete trust, assurance, belief, or confidence, in this case, in faith through Jesus Christ. We have confidence or we have faith. Proclaim means merely to announce officially or publicly, demonstrate or indicate clearly where we stand in our understanding of our faith in Jesus Christ. We proclaim that. Righteous means that it's just the justice or the virtue which gives each his due, being morally right or in a righteous relationship with God. And word, when we sit here, word, we think of a single distinct element of speech or writing. One's account of the truth is also your word. Or the word can be an instruction, command, or in our present time, it can be like a password, as in password to salvation. Confidence, the feeling of belief that one can rely on someone or something. It's a firm trust. It's also a secret or private matter that you would share with someone under a condition of great trust, meaning that you trust them not to share that information with others. Now, the word from Romans chapter 10, verses 5 through 8, our first summary point. And in these passages from Romans, Paul teaches about righteousness under the law and righteousness through faith in Jesus Christ. Now, to follow the law of Moses is also to live by the law in order to attain righteousness. In other words, it's based on works only. And the law requires exact and perfect obedience to attain this state of perceived righteousness. However, humans can't ever do enough to atone for their sin to match the righteousness of God, because we are humans. And righteousness is therefore impossible to attain under the law because of human frailty and challenges. However, Paul says that the righteousness is available to everyone by God's grace through faith in Jesus Christ. So everyone has access to righteousness through faith in Jesus Christ. And that faith in Jesus Christ should be evident in what we believe in our heart, what we say out of our mouth, and what we do in our actions. Your words from Romans 10, chapter 10, verses 9 through 13. And in these passages, Paul teaches about your word or confession of salvation. Now, first of all, Paul says that we have to acknowledge and accept Jesus Christ's sacrifice of death and resurrection. And we have to confess or express our personal acceptance and understanding of our faith and commitment, belief to the word of Jesus Christ. We have to believe it in our heart, and we have to proclaim it boldly with our mouth and our actions. We have to follow up with how we live after we have expressed our understanding of the word. And we are all responsible for our own salvation through our faith, which is our belief, and our word, which we proclaim or express as our confession. And lastly, in our actions. It has to be written on our heart, and therefore we have to live our faith. And Christ's word from Romans chapter 10, verses 14 through 17. In these passages, Paul teaches about hearing and understanding the word of God as the key to ignite the faith and salvation for non-believers, both among the Jews as well as the Gentiles. Now, Paul goes on to state that in order to obtain and accept faith in Jesus Christ and salvation, the believers have to first hear the word. Then they have to listen and accept or understand this salvation through faith in Jesus Christ in their heart. So they have to hear and understand what they hear and take it to heart. And the people cannot obtain salvation without a messenger. Every believer is called to be a witness or messenger of the gospel, or to spread our joy or good news. Now, too often we spread the do's and the don'ts as opposed to what he has done in our life. So we need a messenger to proclaim or preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, or the good news. And Paul goes on to state that God has anointed some with unique and special powers to preach the gospel. It just means that some are anointed with special powers to reach people, whereas every believer should express his or her belief as a witness for the glory and the goodness of God. So those are the summary lesson points for Sunday, August 1st, 2021. The word from Romans chapter 10, verses 5 through 8. Your word from Romans chapter 10, verses 9 through 13. And Christ's word from Romans chapter 10, verses 14 through 17. This is Brother Ron with the Sunday School Summary for Sunday, August 1st, 2021. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed week, and we hope to see you next week for another edition of Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron.